Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Greg K6EGG live stream. Give me just a few minutes and I'll be on the air.
Want to make a comment?
Hello, everybody. This is going to be a little bit different of a broadcast or whatever you want to call it, a live stream than I normally would do. First off, for you folks that normally watch the Greg K6EGG live stream, you guys know I normally do ham radio and have a lot of fun. Call out BS, whatever you want to do, call it. But today will be a little bit different. I don't plan on talking much, at least into the radio. I don't know if sometimes you might hear some stuff rattle around in the background. I am probably getting, I'm not exaggerating. I'm guessing about 70-mile-an-hour gusts. Enough for my house to rattle and my toilet water to be moving around. Last night was pretty darn windy. Yesterday was pretty bad, not as bad as last night. And before I get any further, you guys heard about the news about all these fires and stuff. I am well away from any fire at all. It would have to go through hundreds, maybe a couple thousand homes before it got to my house. And that's the closest hills, Chino Hills. And as of now, at this time, because it could change, as of 1:43 Pacific time, there's no fires in Chino Hills, thankfully. There is quite a few fires around. I'm actually going to bring up a map here and show you where those fires are at. I was planning on putting in some of the LA fire, but I have to do quite a bit of rewiring to do that, and I don't really want to do that. So we're gonna listen to some local ham repeaters. I haven't heard much activity on them. No normal rag chew at all. So I'm way over here, and this Pacific Palisades fire, it's just north of Santa Monica here, and it's probably line of sight, probably 60 miles away, and the wind is blowing from the east to the west, so off the ocean. So literally there's no chance of anything happening. And just to give you another reason why I'm in no fire danger whatsoever where I'm at. So I don't want to allude to that at all. This is Chino Hills State Park, which goes up very, very often. It did a couple years ago. I do have some video of that. I wish I would have had that ready for you folks. Like I said before, the wind will come from the east and north and then go across this way. So even if the wind would not, the fire would not come over from Chino Hills. And these mountains up here are about 10, 15 miles away. Most of the time the embers will only fly about 5 or 6 miles. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a firefighter, but generally speaking, they burn out pretty quickly in the air. But if you're in a fire prone area like a hilltop, like Chino Hills, that can go up pretty quickly. So once again, I am very far away from anything that you see on the news over here. This is the Eaton Fire, which is just basically north of where they have the Rose Parade, which they have the Rose Parade. It starts about right here and goes all the way to just about the edge of Temple City there that's all LA County. I live in San Bernardino County. Now, I'm going to rant here for a minute. I've been listening to scanners pretty much my entire life, since I was probably 10 years old. And I've never heard the fire department be so frustrated before. Normally, I listen to Cal Fire all the time. I might have put them on here before on a stream a long time ago. They're so smooth. For some reason, they didn't activate Cal Fire till this morning, which makes no sense. Last night listening to LA County Fire, they're on the 480 band. I have them in my other scanner in the other room. They're very frustrated and yelling at each other, trying to figure out what to save, and not having resources and stuff like that. Just saying, why isn't the National Guard or the California National Guard? Why don't they put on standby? I told you guys in my stream a couple days ago, we're expecting some really bad wind. I hear it outside. I'm getting probably 70-mile-an-hour gust. I'm just saying. And this particular, where this fire is at right here, this Palisades fire, there's not many roads, as you can see here. And I'm just saying, not very many ways to evacuate. And yesterday it came to a head where, and I know this area a little bit. I have some people that live in this area. I know some people that live in this area. I haven't been up there recently. I haven't gotten a hold of them, but there's only one way and one way in and one way out. So you got people evacuating, and then you got fire department trying to get up. What happened yesterday, it caused gridlock, and finally they had to bring in bulldozers and just bulldoze the cars over to get the fire trucks up there. And then they get up there and there's no water left. Talk about frustrating. The other thing is, I don't know why they got the DC-10s and everything sitting somewhere. I don't know. I've never heard law enforcement, fire departments on the scanner sound so frustrated and yelling at each other like I did last night. Amazingly frustrated on my end just listening to it. Because you hear about emergencies happening in other places, and it just seems like things are a little bit more dialed in. Obviously, this is a last minute thing. It's not like a hurricane when you know 4 days in advance, but we did know. Like I said, I even mentioned to, we're going to get some bad winds. I'm going to put down my antennas. I'm going to, take everything in my backyard down. I don't know. I'm just frustrated. Just listening to that last night, I was losing my mind, at 3 or 4 o'clock, at 3:30 in the morning when I stopped. So I wish I could bring some of that traffic. A lot of that traffic, like what I said before, it's very far away. So they're usually hitting off some repeaters up over here, and it's kind of hard for me to hear those. They were on a countywide TAC, which I think is on Mount Wilson, LA County Fire TAC. But that's since been turned off. I don't know if it's a power thing. Actually, some of my area, the power is out. Just like 2 blocks away, the power is out. Where Dana N7 UFT, his power is out. He lives in Chino Hills. Some of that's precautionary. They don't want power lines falling and arcing up stuff. So pretty crazy stuff here in Southern California. Not unexpected. These winds happen quite often, but we had 2 record years of rain back to back where we got over 100 inches of rain or whatever. I'm just quoting. I'm not quoting, but I'm paraphrasing what close to what it is. And then we have super dry weather for like 9 months since like basically last April. I don't know if that's 9 months, whatever, 8 months, whatever. So this is a perfect storm. And the other thing is we normally get Santa Ana winds that, blow from the east to the west. We're prepared for them. Usually they happen to the end of this month. This was like a double whammy where there was another storm like over the Four Corner states that was like adding fuel, not necessarily fuel, so to speak, but adding more wind and more bad weather in with what was already going to be bad. So we normally get 50, 60 mile an hour gusts in a Santa Ana wind. That's not unheard of, but 100 mile an hour, which some of these places in these hills are getting, and we're getting 70, 80s down here in the flatlands, like where I'm at in the valleys. It's pretty serious stuff. Very frustrating, like I said, to hear what I saw or listened to over the scanner the last couple hours. Very disappointing. I still don't know why the National Guard's not been deployed or at least getting ready. I know they take a number of hours to get ready. I don't know why CAL FIRE is barely getting ready. I don't know why the big giant DC-10s aren't flying around. I've seen them fly around in smaller fires. It's just very sad to see what I've been witnessing. And like I said, I'm not anywhere near what's happening. I mean, I'm in Southern California, obviously, but it's a vast area of this area, a vast area of this area. It's a vast area. It's very, very lot of different climate areas and stuff like that from where we're at. I mean, even San Diego's not too far away. Yeah, just strange. I know they recalled some folks from LA County to get back into work, but some of these folks have been on call for 30, 40 hours at this point now. So anyways, enough of that. Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button there. It's just wild that all this stuff happened all at once, and the mayor's out of town, like in Africa, getting photo shoots taken. I don't know, whatever. It's just so frustrating. So let's take a listen to some scanner stuff here in the local area. I'll just start all the way. Let's listen to the Papa system here.
Space, which is part of the Marine Corps Air Station. A good bit of breeze coming over that hill.
Talking about the winds here. This is the Papa system here, which I'm a member of. I don't plan on talking.
Keep your eyes on the horizon.
Josh, nice to see you in there. Andy, I was reading the chat. I just didn't feel up to putting everything up there. This is a little bit different of a stream today. I'm gonna monitor some frequencies here on the handband.
Trimming some trees on the side of my house on one side.
It doesn't really sound like there's anything crucial here.
Anybody with a lick of sense knows that he's amplifying the evil that he found. The biological.
I don't know what's going on with that there. It sounded like a religious thing going on there. So the wind system's quiet, and pretty much that's it.
Now,
I don't know what this guy's deal is.
His tower was leaning.
Not much on DStar either.
I don't do that work anymore, so I'll let.
So, you brought up, Rob. You brought up a really good point there about the water. So, I haven't dealt with this, but having watched this before, a lot of people, and understandably, want to save their houses, so they end up trying to spray everybody on the block at once. Starts spraying down their houses, and then eventually has to leave and get evacuated and leaves their water on. And what happens there? There's no pressure. A lot of times too, in these hilly areas, you have to pump the water up the hill, and a lot of times the power goes out and the pump goes out. So it's a really bad combination of everything happen at once. A lot of the news media isn't really talking about that. Some of the reasons why the water's out. It's not because they don't have a lot of water. It's because what I just mentioned. So, I heard a lot of that last night, which was really frustrating. I'm just surprised I'm not hearing too much stuff here on the scanner, but I was texting some of the admins there in my chat before I went on. I was debating if I was going to go on or not. Let's take a listen to the Papa system here.
I cut all these branches down. Now I got to cut them up and figure out how I'm going to dispose of them. I may have to get a dumpster. I don't know, or just
don't get me started with that, Mark.
Fill up a couple of green cans.
I had a plan, and everybody thought I was stupid. A lot of these reservoirs are completely empty the last couple of years before we got a rain 2 years ago. I suggest just digging like 40, 50 deeper. And give us like 10 or 15 more % water of our reserves. We released half the water we got last 2 years.
Haven't been on the air a whole lot lately.
Not having enough water wasn't really the problem, though. It was the pumping problem and pressure problems.
Yeah, I feel young getting rid of all that excess greenery.
Of course, that's my personal opinion from what I heard on the scanner last night.
The backyard that was getting a little overgrown with jade plants and
J plants. But a lot of that stuff's not being talked about on the news.
I'm not about to rent a dumpster for it.
I think some of these news people should just bust open and listen to the scanner for a little while and just let the people listen to what actually is going on. Because I don't personally think they decipher things very well. And some of these reporters, I guess, they try to get a little too close to the action and they want to be like part of the story, which is the first rule of journalism. Don't be a part of the story. I don't do YSF, but look for any SoCal groups or Southern Cal or California groups.
I don't know if you're
It's very quiet on the repeaters here locally.
You're moving around or what?
I was surprised I'm hearing these folks talk. I think they want to keep everything clear. Like I didn't hear any nets this morning or anything, which I normally would.
Go that route. All right. We'll let you run, and you have yourself a good afternoon. Enjoy the rest.
Yeah, just
see if I remember the call here.
it's just watching like a car wreck in slow motion. It's like, no, why you?
K6HHB KJ6Y.
And by the way, we just got a good gust of wind right there. I felt the house rattle. You guys probably didn't hear that.
73 is from K6HHB.
Okay, 73.
It's getting pretty windy out there. You guys are on the other side of the mountain where most of that wind isn't happening, though. It gets compressed going over the San Gabriels. And by the way, he's in Palmdale, which is in the desert area of where I'm at. He's actually up over here. This is why I say that. This is the San Gabriel mountain range. A lot of times it goes up and over and through this pass, gets compressed and comes out the other end about through those passes there. I heard Acton had a fire. I heard somewhere on a scanner on there, but I'm not sure. Is that true? A lot of false reporting out there. I don't want to be part of that, but I was hearing some stuff on this, people talking on the scanner about it. I really wish I'd wait. Yeah, there is. Okay. That was confirmed then. All right. I really wish I could put some, let's see if I can, by the way, I have everything charged up, and if I lose signal, I got my Starlink downstairs I could probably go on with, although I might want to kind of hold off on that till I know how long my power is going to go out for. Let's take a look and see. See what's going on here. I don't know if I have the ability to bring some of the stuff in.
This is not nearly what we're dealing with today. That's why those high wind warnings are going to expire. But this, the red flag warning, will linger through tomorrow. And that is not unusual for situations like this. Even though the winds
it's dry, it's only like 10% humidity
we're still
right now.
Dealing with really low relative humidity, all that dry vegetation. We've seen almost.
And the other thing, we couldn't get the news helicopters up because Biden stayed in town an extra day.
Through the end of the week. By Friday, we'll see a little bit of relief. Now, I do want to point out.
No, I am not near Josh. Josh is about 45 minutes away.
On 2 more more Santa Ana wind events. Now, this
Yep.
is not to alarm anyone. These are not going to be nearly as strong as what we've been dealing with over the past 24 hours. This past 24 hours has been historic. For us, as we head into Sunday and the next Tuesday, we're talking about light to moderate Santa Ana wind events, but still, it's going to be crucial that fire crews can get a hold of these fires in the next couple days as these winds start to die down. So LA, Orange County, you'll notice red flag warnings lingering through Thursday. We get a break as we head into Friday and Saturday, temperatures dipping as well. Then by Sunday, starting to warm up once again, just a tad, and then those breezy conditions return. Also notice, we had quite the cool down yesterday. We had some cold air with that low pressure system, but
I don't know why
all
that guy's
offshore
testing on a big
flow,
repeater
that is
system like
changing the
that.
picture. We're feeling it now. The temperatures start
Yeah,
starting to warm up.
everybody's
So
a,
Valley,
so,
Inland Empire,
let me see if we can
70s
get a
through
little
Friday.
better feed in here. I'm just kind of monitoring all the different local broadcasts here. I'll probably get popped for stealing somebody's stuff, but whatever. I don't care. So yeah, the wind is really picking up here. I lost my audio.
In addition to that update, have been
hold on just a second here. Let's see if I can. Trying to get the.
Yes, we're doing as best as we could throughout this entire thing.
I think.
Where are you right now?
Yeah,
Tell
that's
us your story. What
Palisades. The
happened?
Palisades
Did you
there.
evacuate? What's your situation like?
Yeah. So
And by the way,
safe,
for those of you guys don't know Palisades, that's a very, very expensive area of LA County. I wouldn't say the most expensive, but pretty much up there. So I would say the cheapest house there is probably 1.5 million. And I might be a little bit, what's the word I'm looking about that? Conservative on that. It might be closer to 2 million. And you got like hundreds of houses gone. That's billions of dollars of homes.
We were there up until sundown, roughly 5:30 p.m. before we evacuated. We also thankful to Max and Tony and a few neighbors, Charlie
This
and
is
Bryce, who were all there with us almost all the way to the
KTTV here in
end.
Los Angeles, the local
We
Fox
got to
affiliate.
see some homes, but we have no idea
Everybody
where
okay
they
down
stand,
there?
if they
I'm watching
stand,
this thing
but
on
we
fires.
hope that we did enough.
Let's take a look
right
here.
now in the area. So I just wondering if everybody's okay that we know.
Monitoring the Papa system. That fellow's up in Northern California, in case you guys are wondering. I've talked to him a couple times.
Good afternoon, Jeff. KM6HB, AB6MB, KJ6Y. I'll get the call right. Well, so far over here in Woodland Hills, I'm doing fine. I think most people are doing okay.
This is AB6MB. Like, tell me I have my volume down. Could you repeat, please? AB6MB.
AB6MB, KJ6Y in Woodland Hills, and we're safe. I haven't heard of anybody offhand.
I just got a,
major problems.
while we're on here, I got a text. I don't want to say the person's name, but he sent me a photo.
People up at Topanga are monitoring it.
Hit the wrong thing here. He sent me a photo. This is outside of his house. His son's school actually went up. So this is from about the 405 and Sunset. Luckily, my wife just texted me. Good thing. So yeah, pretty crazy.
Buddy, AB6MB.
Yeah, it's pretty devastating. Everything I've seen, really.
So by the way, I know you guys can connect to the Papa system, but don't try to connect to it and call me on it. I don't want to talk on here unless it's an emergency.
Altadena and Pasadena, and then one up in I guess it's Woodley area. So as long as these winds keep up, it's going to be hard to contain them.
Yeah, that's one thing about those Santa Ana winds. So this stuff happens, you know. I've been hearing this, been a member of the club for about 3 years, and every year it seems like I hear something like this, you know, which just saddens me. But I just hope our fellow hams are fine, and of course everybody else. But okay, well, I'm glad you live in a safe area. So, oh man, it's really something. Okay, I'll just stand by and free up the frequency. AB6MB.
All right, yeah, well, I'm reasonably safe. It all depends on the wind. We're not in the canyon, and we're several miles north of it, so hopefully the wind, if the wind's blowing away from us, hopefully it shouldn't be a problem. But we're keeping an eye out. But AB6MB, KJ6Y.
WCGAF.
W6, you were breaking up.
GAF Golf Alpha Foxtrot, La Mesa, California.
This guy's doing a radio check on here right now.
Okay, yeah, you're still not. I got the Golf Oscar Foxtrot, but your audio's not very good.
Once again, this is not a normal
Breaking up.
K6EGG live stream. We're just kind of monitoring local ham frequencies.
447 560 447.
I'm kind of keeping up to date on the local emergency here in Southern California. I'm not near any of this, so don't worry about me. I do have some high.
Is that your phone number?
I do have some high winds here, probably close to 80-mile-an-hour gusts.
Transmitting on. Is it 44756? Is that the repeater?
I have no way of checking it right now. I'm mobile.
These guys.
Tell me about your family, what they're going through, too, to wake up to their house gone.
I couldn't even tell my youngest
This
son
is from
that the house was burnt down when they told me it burnt down.
Los Angeles
he was
here.
already worried. He was already crying. When I told my oldest son that it was burnt down, he's 20 years old. He started crying. So to find out that my house is still standing, I immediately told them. They are so overjoyed. I would hate.
This guy's programming his radio during emergencies. Probably
and
the
now
best
it's
thing in
burned
the
down
world.
because I couldn't get a little help.
Whatever.
What's this like for you and your neighbors? I can't imagine the stress level that you're...
Oh, my God.
What do you think it's like, lady? Come on.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I hate when they do this sort of shit.
Terrifying.
You
It is
think?
really even before.
I'm gonna
they
go
put out
eat
the
Mexican food
evacuation
tonight
number,
with my family.
notice
I'm
for
gonna
my
enjoy
neighborhood.
myself. What do you think?
My mom's had 3 strokes. I called my brother and his sister and my sister-in-law and told them to get my mom out of there. And I started packing even before they gave the official
very
evacuation notice
insensitive.
for my house. Because I've been through this. I've lived in Altadena before. I know with the wind and the fire, it was coming. It was just a matter of time.
Chris, what was that moment like when you had to pack and figure out what to bring and you're looking around?
Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna listen to that. My God, that's some bad reporting. Well, I'm trying to find a local KTLA.
The station looking for some repeaters on the Papa system. N6 MNI. W6AF. Golf
Yeah, in
Alpha
front of his house
Foxtrot,
burning
Mesa,
down.
California.
What do you think he's feeling like?
Okay, La Mesa. I
God.
can't help you. I was thinking if you were in the Orange County area, you'd try 446-320. That would probably get you.
They don't stream
where
on
you want it to be.
YouTube. I can only grab off of YouTube, so.
446-320. 446-320.
My daughter and them are out.
Sorry, I'm doing this on the fly, folks. I'm not
that should
like,
be all
oh, look at
right
that.
there
I got a 3-shot. That looks perfect.
Yeah, she was.
This is
actually
courtesy
at the
of
convalescent
KTLA here in Los
hospital being
Angeles.
taken care of.
Channel
So I got
5.
her
I've actually
there
do some work for them.
And I tried to
I
come
don't know
get
why
some
it's
of
only
her
720,
belongings,
but whatever.
I didn't get in that area.
So if
fast
somebody
enough.
tries to sue me from KTLA, I'm sorry.
Sorry for everything you lost, but good luck with the next.
Yeah, tell us how you're feeling after you lost everything.
Next, anything else you wanted to let folks know out there besides the cat? Anything other information?
I used to be a claims adjuster, a public claims adjuster. So look at your policies. Hopefully the insurance companies will do the right thing.
No, they won't.
Us. But look at your policies. Always prepare. If it's so far away, don't hesitate. And then when the fire is over a little bit, you may be able to come back and start helping. Like this neighbor there, their house is ready to be just extra water. And that extra water would probably stop that from jumping again. So don't be afraid to come back, because you can come back a little bit and help even your neighbors.
What was his name?
Billy Threadgill.
By the way,
best of luck with
I'm staying away from any of this. I'm not an emergency responder.
Thank you.
Some people are trying to go up there and do stuff. There's some looting going on last night, I heard, on the sheriff's department van.
All over the place. Another thing you have to keep in mind, we're going to get out of the street here. We'll send it back to you right now. But that's just another story. And there is a,
that smell. I've worked fires before. That smells bad.
Right now.
Yeah, and Chip, you can hear
Can't get that smell out of your nose for a couple days.
Trying to save tools because he knows he wants to work, after all of this. Just so tough.
Yeah, while Chip was doing that report in that interview, on the other box, you're watching a fire.
It's like a mall almost.
Calaveras and Lake Avenue in Altadena.
Yeah, I know exactly where that's at. It's north of where the parade's
houses,
at.
It's also, there's
it's
a lot
strip
of commercial
mall.
real
That
estate
went way down south.
And Mary Beth McDade is in that same area. Mary Beth, can you hear us?
Yep. Hello there. Yes, I am right on Lake, right by Calaveras. And if you look behind me, Glenn, can you see this food mart? Glenn and Lou, look at the food mart going up in flames here. Do you guys see that?
It's more than just a food mart.
We do.
Anyhow, so as we came
that's
up
people's
from the
jobs.
we came up Lake Avenue.
Or people go
as
to
you're coming in, you're
go to
getting
get their
closer to
food.
the
Man, that's going to
photo
cause a
here.
lot of problems for a long time.
Business that has been completely torched. It is just rubble on the ground right now. There's another apartment building back there that was flattened. And
Once again, not a normal Greg K6EGG live stream. I wanted to come on, and I was actually going to do a POTA today, but I didn't feel it was appropriate.
We haven't even made it that far yet.
I was going to do the
let's pull over and get a live shot.
Butterfield Ranch, whatever historical, whatever trail.
Oh,
but
there's just all the
not a good
of
idea
businesses that
today.
are burning. It's terrible.
Ham radio can wait.
Established my frequent rancho that I was.
But I am
gonna check
monitoring
on, but I
the
didn't want to
PAPA
get that
system.
close. I wanna-
I have that fader up, so if somebody pops in there,
Hey, Johnny, how's it going? This is Mark.
How many would you say up there?
Over
I
here
would say
in
probably.
north of San Diego County, over here in Vista.
no, that's nowhere near anything.
PKZ, yeah, Mark, good afternoon to you. KB6 FT8. Hey, John, was that Kilo Bravo 6 Foxtrot Tango uniform? Over.
This is the PAPA system here in the Southern California area.
Kilowatt Bravo 6 Foxtrot Delta Echo. Kilo Bravo 6 Foxtrot Delta Echo. Roger that. Yeah, I hear you on there all the time.
Thank you there, Seth.
I know you're over
Sorry,
there in San Diego. Thanks for coming back and letting that station know. It sounds like he's maybe a little bit off frequency there. He was kind of garbled a little bit there, but
now something Seth just sent me here. Well,
anyways, good hearing you in there.
let me bring this in here. Seth just sent this to me. Really good, actually. Resource here. This is pretty cool stuff here. You can actually see where the camera's pointed and what direction the camera is actually looking, as opposed you can correlate that with a map. So this is a really cool resource. Let's do 5-minute loop. I've never been on this. I didn't know this existed till like 30 seconds ago, so I don't know how this will work. Let's do a 30-minute loop. I don't know how this works. Oh, wow. What a difference there. Wow. And I don't know if you guys can hear in the background there, but we just got a pretty good gust here. I felt the house shake. Yeah, I don't know. So keep in mind, this is make sure this is current. This is actually from yesterday. This camera view. So I don't know. Maybe the cameras went out. Let's go ahead and click on. Let's click on this. There we go. That's a live shot there. Yeah, that's pretty bad. This is within 5 minutes ago. If you look at the time here like within an hour. Good job on finding that. That's going on right now. It's going over the crest of that hill. So let's take a look. So that's over there in Topanga, and there's houses actually on the other side here of Topanga, right over in the Calabasas Hills. You may know some famous people named the Kardashians live actually in this neighborhood right there. So a lot of affluent people are going to be getting a shell shock here shortly. So we're all people. Got to remember that. So this is looks like a live shot here from just a few minutes ago. 5 minutes ago it says down there. So yeah, that's let's take a look at this one here. Not as bad. This is Mount Wilson where all the transmitters are on. You can see it's just on the foot of that. And actually, if you look up here, I was going to say you can see my area, but there's not much. See, there's not much going on here. This is actually looking towards, well, maybe not. You go back where the fire's at. I'm sorry, folks. Looks like those cameras are down now. Yeah, this is happening right now. Let's take a look. Last 30 minutes. That is some pretty serious stuff. That's a house up there, by the way, I believe. That's why it's wow. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion, folks. Like I said here. Take a listen to the Papa system there. That's a pretty good resource. Thank you there, Seth. I should have had that ready.
NGAK. Just checking in.
I'm going to hate to see my homeowner's insurance here in the next couple of years. When I had those fires up in Northern California, my homeowner's insurance went from like $1,800 to like $2,600. And this past year, they went from like $2,600 to the $5,200. So, yeah. Once again, not a normal live stream. We're monitoring the fire situation here in Southern California. I'm not a news agency. I'm just taking in what I can hear from my location. I wish I had the resources to put in some of the local fire department, at least up in LA. Partly some of the, I'm blocked by some hills, so I can't hear all of it. I can't hear most of the Palisade stuff, but I can hear some of the stuff over in the Altadena area, but I unfortunately don't have the scanner hooked up. We don't know if it's an arsonist or not at this point. It wouldn't surprise me if it did there, Ryan. But I don't want to even speculate on how it started, but it was very, very dry. Some of the Some of the areas had, under 10% humidity. I know when I woke up this morning, it was in the 9% humidity. So I appreciate you guys jumping in here. We are monitoring the Papa system. Lovely. I know Rob was in here. He was saying he was hearing something in Acton. And you're out in the desert there. I'm sorry, Mr. G, I think you were saying up there. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Twitter and I'm doing all kinds of stuff here at once. So I don't see yet on the fire map, but I've heard reports of that fire up there, and I can't find any cameras right now that can bring me that. Trying to take a look here. I don't think I have anything facing Acton. Let me show you what so you can see the fires in the background there. But nothing, maybe you can see it there, the Magic Mountain. There we go. We can see smoke that way there. So this, actually that's the wrong direction. That would be right behind. Oh yeah, we do see that. That's no, Acton's a little bit more this way, right? Let's take a look here. Yeah, that'd be about where Acton's at. Yeah, Scott, I am totally away from all these fires, and I've been pretty transparent about that. I'm well than 50 miles away from, or probably 40 miles away from the closest one. There's zero chance of us getting any fire damage. So I'm just kind of showing you a kind of live look in on how some of these fires are taking place here, and some of the preparation, or I should say, some of the activities may be involved here. This looks like this is pretty fresh here. Let's do a 15-minute loop. Oh, we saw this one earlier. Castro Peak. Wow, you can see all that. So this is looking southeast right there. So this is just above a little bit north of Malibu there. And you can see, I mean, that's about 20 miles away, and you can see how big that smoke plume is. Here's another thing for you folks that don't understand the Santa Ana winds. I know some folks are from here and probably would agree with me. Right about when the Santa Ana winds die down, the wind shifts back from where it's coming right now from the east to the west, to the west to the east. That stirs up a whole nother issue, because it's still dry and all the fire smoke and stuff was going one direction, and embers, that it switches and goes the opposite direction. So some places that weren't in danger become in danger because of the wind shift. So we're far from out of this here in Southern California. And I would say probably Friday, we won't be out of the woods, so to speak, till those winds start to shift. And I was just looking on the future forecast, and we're supposed to get some more moderate to high Santa Ana's Tuesday and the next Wednesday. But I mean, that's still a little far out. It's almost a week out. Let's take a look and see what happens. So I'm back on this. We're monitoring the Papa system, in case you guys are wondering. I wish I can go in a little bit further.
With regular radio.
4PQH coming in on Echo Link, just doing a demonstration for a friend.
Santa Ana Peak is
coming through loud and clear. Is Jeff, AB6MB on the San Francisco Bay AB6MB.
We're monitoring the Papa system. You step away just for a quick second.
Hey, Jeff, Ron here, KF4PQH. Thanks for getting back to me. I was just, we're down here in the RV park. We're getting a ham radio club going again, and want to start getting more information, I got to start attending the tech nets and stuff and find out more about areas in the area and stuff like that. And I know you're all the way up in San Fran, so but you're probably familiar with a lot of that stuff. And we're trying to get things going. So he was asking me about Echolink, and he said, "Oh, is it that hard to do?" So I brought it up and said, "Here we go." So thanks. Good to hear from you, Jeff. And this is KF4PQH, and I'll be clear on your final if you come back.
N6VNI.
K, can you repeat?
N6VNI. N6VNI clear.
NG8K, can anyone hear me? Am I coming through clear?
See if I can bring in another news feed. Like I said, I'm not a news person, so I'm not going to act like I'm a reporter. I'm just letting you guys know what's going on as far as
You're coming through,
what I'm listening to here in the local Southern California area. Let's take a look. We're going to zoom in or go into KTLA here.
Law comes up short because any hike above 10% that happens after 6 months, well, that almost
they're talking about the insurance rate,
because
probably.
We're looking at a supply and demand equation. Already there are estimates out there that
maybe
damage from this California catastrophe
$2 billion
could top $50 billion. So you can be sure that contractors and commodities will be in short supply afterwards. Supply and demand says, and economics dictate, that the costs of all these things are going to go up, and they're going to go up exponentially.
Oh, shit.
Good.
And one last thing, the Attorney General did assure me that anyone who is caught looting after something like this will be prosecuted.
Yes, and we also know that the California National Guard has been deployed as well. All right, David Lazarus, thank you so much.
All right, let's get to Alina Abovian.
We're monitoring KTLA here in Los Angeles.
Palisades. Alina?
Hi, guys. Yeah, I showed you this.
I don't know there, Lawrence. This isn't good, though.
And you can see it's continuing to
Pardon all the
burn.
joking, but
Las Flores Canyon, this is right above La Costa Beach, right above PCH, and dozens and dozens of homes in this neighborhood already gone, totally flat. There was a fire engine, rather there is a fire engine.
I would say there's probably well over 1,000 homes got knocked out. If I was a guessing man from what I heard last night on the scatter,
there's really no saving it. It's completely compromised, and I think what they're just trying to do at this point is just to keep the flames contained specifically to this property. I would say 80% of the homes in this neighborhood have burned down, but there are a few, so the goal at least is to keep the fire contained to this.
And see some of these houses too that a lot of people aren't mentioning that didn't burn down, probably got smoke damage that pretty much killed them anyways.
To one of the palm trees. It can go down again to PCH, and just looking at all the black out here, you can see this was the trajectory of the fire.
Let's talk about that for just a little bit there, Lawrence. For some of you folks that you probably already heard me mention this before, a lot of people, and I've seen it for myself because I watched these fires up close up here in Chino Hills and Rancho Cucamonga and Upland. A lot of people go out there with their own fire hoses and spray stuff down. You get 100 or so people doing that at once or more. I'm just throwing out numbers here. And then they usually end up having to evacuate and leave, and they'll leave the water running. So that takes away the pressure from the actual, the whole system. The other thing is a lot of these hilly areas, depending on pumps going to send the water up the hill, they lose power or they have power interruptions. And that sometimes, puts a little bit of a strain on the system as well. Even if it's for a few minutes, it takes a while for stuff to build back up. So a lot of complex stuff going into when you hear they don't have enough water. They have enough physical water. They just didn't have the pressure to push the water through. And like I said, the people spraying water in their houses, I know it's a great idea, but a lot of times it doesn't do shit. I know you got to do what you got to do to try to save your house, but in the scheme of things, it actually makes it worse. And the local fire department, unless you have a well system in your own house, they say not to do it. They say to do it if you do. But but it's a shitty situation. It sucks. But unfortunately that's kind of the way it is. But yeah, they definitely have water available. It's just the fact of
So we do have that watch duty app.
just a matter of what's going on, and it really sucks. I mean, it just sucks to be standing there not wanting to have the water, but
And it gives you, notifications too if there's a fire in your area. You can put in your local county or whatever.
As you see in the screen.
W6EGG.
Like I said, I think this will probably last through the weekend, because they don't even start containment until after the wind, and we're not supposed to stop the wind till probably Friday. And like I said, when you get a wind shift, it picks up a little bit more. At least the fire spreads a little bit more. And then we're supposed to get another windstorm, I believe, Tuesday and Wednesday next week.
Yeah, I guess we should keep the airways clear.
Yeah, might not be a bad idea.
Tonight on the New Hamsnet, maybe we can do a limited edition, unless everything's better. It is better. The wind has stopped. This, at least by our house.
Pick this up right here.
Has eyes on this over the last hour as well.
This is what we were showing earlier, thanks to Seth and to
This
SPG.
is the Lydia fire. There are a number of air resources on it.
I believe that's
I can show that to
Acton
you as
there,
well
Christina.
Really before I send it back to
Yep.
you guys.
Sorry,
what we're talking about here. This is a Tanker 41 here.
Now the tankers are out.
Cal Fire retardant dropping helicopter. You've got a Sky Crane that's here, and a bunch of other ones. So they've got a bunch of aircraft that are on this one working this, and it's nice to see the aircraft too, you guys. I mean, we've got Copter 15 from LA County over on the Eaton Fire, and we've got a couple of Ventura County Fire helicopters coming up to deal with the Palisades Fire. Guys, while I've got you, I do want to let you know that CBS News has confirmed here that the military has offered its support. So Charlie D'Agata with CBS News is confirming through a Pentagon spokesperson that the U.S. Navy has ordered the deployment of 10 helicopters with water buckets from Naval Base San Diego. So they'll be coming up from Naval
I'm not
Base
going to
San
say anything
Diego
about that.
to be able to assist. They are both using also the California and Nevada Air National Guards to assist with this, so that we can get as
But
many
the California
resources as we
National
can.
Guard.
Earlier, I saw our Michelle Geely talking to fire crews from Kern County. We reported last night that fire crews from Arizona, a whole host of crews from Northern California are coming as well. And now the U.S. military getting involved with lending us 10 military helicopters with water.
By the way, these
buckets
news folks
that
have
can
been
come in
going
and assist.
24/7,
A much better
and this
situation
studio
today
here
where
is
we can
taking
actually
power
fly,
hits throughout of it.
because
Throughout
the
it.
winds have died down just enough to be able to allow that action to happen.
And that would have made a huge difference yesterday, Mike, if we could have flown. And now,
you know what?
US Navy, unbelievable.
Christina, and that's why I made that face. Well, I'm sorry. I thought that's why I made that face. And you know exactly what anybody here understands. Yeah, so I'll still monitoring the Papa system here. I'm going to find some more. That was some pretty good info there that the folks over at KCAL TV, I believe that's Channel 9 and KCBS 2. I'm going to bring in their weather person here. I don't know what her name is or whatever. Who cares? I guess it doesn't matter.
Yes, that is the good news. The winds
I tried to pull this together last minute, so
and the
I'm not normally do anything like this. So getting all
morning,
these feeds in
places
are kind of a
like
pain in the
Canyon,
butt.
94 mile per hour gusts. We had 92 mile per hour gusts for Arrowhead Springs. So
I wasn't exaggerating,
looking at
folks.
strong winds, not as strong as what we were seeing early this morning, but look at this. For the Pacific
Andre, I am nowhere near any of
still
this.
in the 40s, so these are still very dangerous
Well,
winds.
I'm
Yes,
40
conditions
miles
are
away.
hurting,
I'm not
but
in any
we are
danger at
not
all.
out
But thank
of
you for
danger
asking.
yet. We're seeing 50 mile per hour gusts.
If I was in danger, I definitely wouldn't be on here.
See a lot of places still impacted. 45 in Malibu, 36 in Burbank.
That was
As
the
we head
Papa
into
system,
Santa
by the way.
Clarita, also 50s. Can still see those winds, those Santa as well.
All right, looks like I'm having some trouble with the feeds there. That was actually, they were just showing Chino
and then
there.
sweeping down into Orange County as well with 45 in Santa Ana. So things are going to continue very difficult as we continue through the rest of the week. I want to zoom into some of these spots here in our winds futurecast and show you what you can expect as we head into later today. So 4:25 p.m. There's Acton.
And Christina, that's exactly my point.
Winds in that 30, 40 mile per hour range.
Trying to get this up.
As we head a little bit further.
I'm just monitoring. There's I've requested people not to try to call me in on any of the repeater systems there. I don't think it's a time to be yik-yakking. It's been very quiet, pretty much on the ham frequencies.
Big Bear.
Because anything could happen. There goes my area right there. I'm just north of the Corona area there.
Into the 4 o'clock hour and still moving south into parts of Orange County. So let's fast forward this just a bit.
I understand, Scott.
We're going to head into later tonight. Things are going to be improving. Things are headed in
I'm
the
not
right
an emergency
direction.
relay dude, so I want
here.
nothing to do with that. I don't want that responsibility. Unless somebody needs it, I don't want to get the wrong info across.
We're still seeing those winds, though. So places like out into the Orange County area, seeing some strong winds still heading into later this evening, but things are going to be weakening. So,
and I'm just breezing through local broadcast here, listening to local frequencies, ham frequencies. That is. I'd like to bring some fire frequencies, but like I said, I'm pretty far from where those fires are at.
And then
it's hard for me to pick some of that stuff up. They've rerouted a lot of that traffic to different hilltops that I can't hear either.
Inland Empire, you will still see those strong gusty winds.
So that's tomorrow morning, so we're still getting that wind.
Into some of the foothills for the San Gabriel Valley. Of course, we have the Eaton fire there. So keep that in mind. Unfortunately, we wish relief would come a little sooner.
So let me take a look at that link there, Mr. Oh, that's the Fox News Now, yeah, or Live News Now, whatever, from Fox. Yeah, just a lot of crazy stuff going on here in Southern California. I'm trying to bring up another map here. Let's take a look at. Looks like this camera got moved. Let's do a 15. Maybe it didn't. Yeah, it did get moved. Look at how close it got to the towers, folks. That all happened within 20 minutes ago. So that tower almost got taken out. We're still in the thick of this. If anything, it's probably going to get worse again tonight with the wind starting to shift a little bit, as that news report or the weather reporter was saying. Yeah, I pulled them up before. They just take what I have available here already. They usually just take the local feeds, so which I'm trying to pull up here. Let's bring this back in here.
Conditions are improving. We have seen those extremely strong winds for the valleys ranging from the
I'm going to get so copyrighted for this.
mile-per-hour range. For the mountain areas, much stronger. Fremont Canyon, one of those strongest winds out there.
Yeah, I was going to do that, but
early this morning.
I think I'm going to hold off on that.
In the 90s, we've seen those strong gusts. We'll still continue with the strong gusts heading into tonight.
Also listening to the Papa System in queue right now to see if I hear anything special or anything like that, but it's just people yik-yakking, which probably not appropriate, I think, for right now. It's just my personal opinion.
We still have
we are in a state of emergency here in Southern California.
Couldn't come soon enough.
All right, Olga, thank you for all of that. Certainly everyone wondering when the winds will die down. We continue to follow our breaking news with SkyCal live overhead.
They got their helicopters back up because Biden stayed an extra day here in Southern California for some reason. So there's a TFR locally here in Southern California.
Grounded the last couple of days because of those high winds. Strictly for safety reasons, it was just not safe for SkyCal.
There is fire links in there. Thank you, Colin, for putting those in there.
Coming into us from SkyCal, headed towards the Pacific Palisades area to cover the Palisades fire, and just look at how spotty, Amy.
Look at all those neighborhoods of those houses.
Fires burning in different areas. Still, the ground smoldering. Still active flame out there. As more. And more
By the way, they canceled the NHL hockey game tonight. I actually wasn't supposed to work it. Ironically enough, don't take this the wrong way. They were supposed to play the Calgary Flames tonight, so. Kind of ironic. The Lakers were supposed to play tomorrow. I'm actually supposed to work that. I'm guessing it's going to get canceled tomorrow because it's probably not a good look where you're playing a basketball game about 10 miles away from an emergency zone. Just saying.
So many people, and you can see now when our Mike Rogers on the desk shows us those evacuation zones why the areas need
Wow,
to be
look at that. That's probably 10 square miles right there, fire.
this fire covering.
That's huge. Oop, bring up his mic. Bring up his mic. There you go.
As to where SkyCal is sitting and which direction he is looking at. So they lifted off of Van Nuys and then headed west through the valley and came down south through Calabasas, and they're slowly working their way east. So
what's up there, KJ5 FTE? Maximum bandwidth.
Topanga Canyon Highway, rather. So that is where he is looking.
Max
east.
bandwidth.
So yeah, the top end of the north end of the fire here is what is approaching, through the Santa Monica Mountains there as he pans up and looks out. Now I'm going to ask Oliver. Oliver, can you just kind of zoom all the way out?
I have
of what we're
there'll be a nice
here.
warm place for those looters. Let me tell you something.
Back to the left, and this just
they were catching looters last night. They did mention this on the news here. We were just watching.
Getting in the shot there as Oliver pans to the right.
That is a problem here in Southern California
because of all of the smoke. And there is the city.
I'm sure those people might fall down going into jail. I'm guessing they might hurt themselves falling.
Some of the other cities that you're looking at there, but it's really kind of wild to see how
this, like I said, not a normal stream. I wanted to go on to do some POTA today. I took the day off to deal with some personal stuff that you folks know that I've been dealing with, and I just didn't feel it was appropriate to go do a POTA. I figured just bring this stuff to you folks when I'm kind of watching.
Really rough terrain areas, as you can see, some of the really crazy.
I wouldn't say I hope you enjoy it, but thank you for watching.
And again, covered in smoke. So
I'm monitoring the PAPA system in the background in my ear. I'm listening to it. See if there's any emergency type of traffic.
Continuing to burn, and obviously we're starting to get our first look at it from SkyCal here.
All right, Mike, thank you so much. We're getting some
just
more information
yakking. It sounds like though.
Newsroom regarding expanded mandatory evacuation orders for Santa Monica. So here they are.
Are you KJ5 FTE or are you K6KRI?
Again, this is due to the Palisades fire.
I'm confused. Oh, I see. Duh.
Announced mandatory evacuations for the areas.
Sorry, I'm not reading all these at once. I apologize.
Ocean Boulevard to 26th Street.
Baofeng.
An evacuation.
Nothing wrong with a Baofeng.
For all other areas north of Montana.
Baofeng will get you on the air. I've never badmouthed those things, so especially in an emergency situation.
Expanded mandatory evacuation orders to include all areas north of Montana Avenue, Amy, from the beach to 11th Street.
And we really hope that our viewers that are listening to this one are taking it very seriously. I know that the fire started yesterday, and a lot of people think, oh, we're out of the woods because it's been burning so long, but we're not. And if you are
not even
in
close.
that evacuation area, you really need to take this seriously. The winds have been shifting. We are hoping that they are dying down, but it is still windy out there, and you really need to listen to the warnings that are coming out.
I'm going to be bumming when the smoke or the wind shifts, because all that smoke's going to come right into my neighborhood.
Jasmine, you have just seen so much destruction today, and we've heard it described as looking like a war zone.
Years and years ago, and I wanted to go.
Let's take a listen here. I'm going to choose if I can find.
I had a good time.
See if I can find something else here.
It was really good.
Let's take a look at this. This is actually breaking here.
Santa Monica closed the 10 at Lincoln in an effort to provide clear streets for
I actually worked right
to
in this area.
Now the city of Santa Monica also dealing with these evacuation
orders. That's unprecedented for that to come down the hill. This is a widely populated area.
On what's going on there.
This is from KTLA here in Los Angeles.
Of the Palisades fire now burning into Santa Monica Canyon in the Upper Mesa area. Glenn and Lou, it's just shocking to think that we're talking about this part of Santa Monica. I know we've been looking at the Palisades. A lot of people understand that if it's close to the mountain,
5 miles away from the mountains,
wildlands that haven't burned or been cleared.
To go into the neighborhood like that,
including myself, can grasp that a little better than understanding that it's getting so close to the ocean at Ocean Boulevard. It's getting so close to these apartment complexes, these townhomes. These are not just big mansions on the west side. These are people who've been living in, for example,
those houses are probably about $1 million plus right
now
there
having
too.
To gather their things and
I do know
so
some folks that live in that area,
from
actually.
the city of Santa Monica.
It's a widely populated area right there.
Were you saying evacuation mandatory?
Evacuation warning has been issued for all areas north of Wilshire, west of 10th.
That's wild.
So north of Wilshire, west of 10th.
It's going that far down.
This map. Little
those are like,
but here's one.
That's like 10 or 15 blocks away from the hill.
Warnings, that's in the yellow.
That's a lot of houses right there.
And then right above it, I know it's just hard to comprehend. It's hard to comprehend. And then you're seeing in the red, those are orders. Those people are told to go. San Vicente down to Montana, all the way down to
Wind's starting to
the
shift.
beach. And then if you look above that, close to the Riviera is under evacuation order. And then on the other side of San Vicente,
Tim, I'm very far away. That fire we're looking at right there, the Palisades fire, is well over 50 miles away. The Altadena fire is probably closer to 35, 40 miles away. I am not in any fire danger whatsoever, but we do have some pretty bad winds. It's starting to calm down actually a little bit out there, believe it or not.
On Valley Circle Boulevard in Woodland Hills. Pasadena Convention Center still taking people in Pasadena.
I'm also monitoring in my ear the PAPA system, but they're just rag chewing.
An issue for most of the people we're reading about here in Santa Monica, but large animals.
Kind of surprising.
Still trying to get clarification on Pierce College, because we have heard and people have commented on social, hearing that that is full. I've placed a call to Pierce College, but haven't heard back. But as far as I know, a lot of people, even Lou, you know, if you got to leave with your big dog, there are some places that don't take animals. So where do you go? And that's why I just wanted to be clear about evacuation centers. Westwood Recreation Center will take small animals and evacuees. Also, I wanted to note, Airbnb is partnering with 211 to provide resources for people who need to get out, people whose homes are burned and they have nowhere to go. Again, that's 211. It's a service, a nonprofit service working with Airbnb to place displaced people into somewhere to go for the evening. There are, of course.
All right, let me dump out of that here for a minute. I'm gonna see if I can find something. But yeah, that's unprecedented to have that area of town. Let me. The reason why I'm bringing that up. So this bringing this map here to give you a little bit, at least my knowledge of this area. So I actually worked right over here in Santa Monica here. This is very, very dense metropolitan area here in the Santa Monica area of Los Angeles. This is what they refer to the West Side, and they are evacuating basically. So all this basically caught fire right here. All this is all. I'm not saying all the houses, but a lot of this is a lot of damage in this area. And this is like straight, like flatland Santa Monica. This is all LA County right here. Yes, this is actually technically part of Los Angeles too. This is flatlands, and this is is about as densely populated as you can possibly be in this part of the area. And it's being evacuated because of a hill wildfire, which is probably 3 or 4 miles away. So that fire, so what I mentioned earlier is a lot of the fires are blowing from the east to the west, coming down these hills. They're getting compressed, and these are all hills right here. And what's happening now is the wind is starting to shift and then start to go this way. So right now we're in that shifting pattern where the wind's starting to die down from the Santa Anas and shift into the west. So when that's happening, all those embers are starting to pop up, and probably they're worried about them floating down into that area here, North Santa Monica there. So that's pretty scary. A lot of those houses are a little bit older. Wow. But yeah, that's pretty interesting stuff. Pretty unprecedented. I've never seen a wildfire go into the, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a metropolitan area like that. And so this Eaton fire right here, I don't know why they call it. I think it has something to do by the street. We were just talking about that, Don, by the way. Christina's up there, former 435 owner. So this Eaton fire right here, it's pretty close to the flatlands here. Not flatlands, but to not as populated area, but it has burned down the hill. And this is what I was talking about. This fire is coming out of the east to the west. So they're coming down this hill here, and they're compressing towards the bottom. And basically, it's just a big giant furnace down here, right where all these homes are at. And it's taken out a lot of these houses in this area right here. You guys saw just a few minutes ago that looked like it burnt down that we call them strip malls here, which is basically like one big store and a bunch of little small stores. But yeah, this is pretty bad. And this fire is actually I would say this is the closest one to where I'm at. I'm down. Don knows this area pretty well. Obviously, he's in Southern California. I'm down over here, so I'm well away from it. Like I said, even if these Chino Hills fires were going, the wind would be going the opposite direction, and I just wouldn't. It wouldn't affect me at all. I don't have that type of fire insurance because it's not needed because of my situation. But I do remember 1 year. I believe it was 04. No. Yeah, maybe it was 03. They basically had a fire stretch from over here to over here, and that's about 10 miles. And let me tell you something. I've never seen so much smoke and ash in the air during that because it was just funneling right into this area. It was just dropping. But pretty amazing here. Lots of stuff going on here in Southern California. Let me tell you something.
Right
Oops, wrong one.
It's like a command center over here. What the heck is going on? Yeah, we will.
We're listening to Papa System
Definitely.
here.
And everyone else out there that can hear us, please try to be safe. I don't know. This is not right, but we'll do the best we can, and I think we'll have the New Hampstead tonight at 7. So maybe we'll get an update from Santa Monica. At least Steve's in Santa Monica, so we'll see what's going on there. You two take care, and we'll be out here monitoring. I had the Papa.
Boy, when it catches on fire, it's bad news.
And they too have tons of animals. I mean, it's horse country. And
so that's looking from probably Century City into into Santa Monica right there. Santa Monica is more towards the left here. And this is like Palisades area. And this is the edge. Actually, this might be from downtown or Hollywood.
We're looking at your screen. This is live. Again, this is the Getty Center. You can see it in the middle. But just again, right off the Getty Center behind it, that's where you're seeing, again, these winds. They are picking up, and look at the smoke plume. It extends well out into the Pacific. And then as you get a little bit closer towards the coast.
I don't know if it's illegal in Southern California.
The West Channel area.
But we do own water rights below us, unlike some states.
The lifeguard station there, Baywatch is what we like to call it there at Will Rogers. It looks like you could see a little smoke plume. You see that on the bottom left-hand side of your screen?
Right here.
So it's getting very, very dangerous in that particular area, and I think that has
the wind is shifting. I'm telling you, folks, they're not really talking about it yet. But I was watching some of the weather stuff here just a minute ago on my phone.
Santa Monica area, and again, all the way to Montana Avenue, which is just amazing. And again, that whole
so this was blowing more off the ocean. Now this is blowing almost south.
Let's head out.
Christina
back
will probably understand, or Don, or anybody.
Myers, she's currently at.
So this is looking north to south. So this is north and this is south. All right. So let me dump out of there and find something here. And this is what I was talking about here with this fire here. Go back to here. So they were looking in this area, probably from either downtown or Hollywood. And the smoke was going this way, up and down, which is north to south. So definitely the winds shift a little bit. Yeah, man. Were you canceled on that game today? I'm assuming tomorrow's game is going to get canceled. Little fire coverage from Greg K6EGG. I work with I'm just gonna say what the hell. I'm not gonna say his real name in there, but yeah, pretty crazy stuff. So the wind, it looked like it shifted a little bit. That's why I'm guessing some of this area is in fire danger right here. Like I said earlier, the wind's probably starting to go south to north. North to south. Sorry, let me see here. From the north to south, instead of the east to the west. It looks like that's why we're seeing some of that smoke in a different area than we had before. At the top of the hour. All right, so let's take a listen to that. Thank you very much. I do have Keller Peak in my scanner or in my 9700. I appreciate it. Yeah. I was scheduled for that, but I got out of it a couple days ago. So we're monitoring the Keller Peak here. Keller Peak is way out in San Bernardino County, by the way. I forgot my little photo there. So they're not out of water. They just had a pumping problem with people leaving their water going, and they're just using a lot of water, so it didn't have a lot of money. And from what I heard, some of the pump stations lost power because it's all going uphill. So you need to have some water being pumped to send the water uphill, obviously, because of that thing called gravity. By the way, anybody new watching today, don't forget to jump in the chat, hit that like button. I'm just doing this for fun. I'm not like a normal like reporter or anything like that. But I just found this very interesting, and I want to bring the ham radio side of it. Because we might hear some traffic on there, but I'm hearing more rag chew, and I'm not judging, but my personal opinion is I wouldn't want to be rag chewing on anything in case someone needs to be getting a hold of somebody. But I figured I know people are monitoring these repeater systems, so that's kind of how I feel about it. That's my personal thoughts. I'll leave this on audio upwise.
Now, we are still limited a little bit because of the heavy winds as to how east and south we can go. And of course, the smoke is making it very difficult as well. But I can tell you further to the south, this situation and this scene is just more of the same over and over again. And as Oliver pans out, you'll see
and Tony, I didn't realize
all the way to the right of the screen
how many houses in that area there or just completely demolished.
Now, look at this. This is a really new thick patch of vegetation. Look at how intense and how tall those flames are.
Wow.
Really, really insane stuff to see. Totally topography driven right here as the fire moves uphill. These really incredibly tall flame lengths. And you can look at just how dense the tree canopy is there and how much vegetation
look
it
at
has to burn as we look at these really incredible.
Some of this hasn't been burned in a few years. That's a lot of it. And like I said earlier, we got record rainfall the last 2 years. 4 times the amount of rain we would normally get each year the last 2 years, and we've gotten basically zero of that. We didn't have any rainstorms since basically April.
And that is his camera zoomed all the way out, and it doesn't even fit everything into one frame on the screen here. And you can see to the south of his top of the screen.
I don't want to put that on the screen, but damn, that sucks.
You can see some of the beach, and unfortunately, as he pushes back into that neighborhood right there, you'll see that is where all the fire has done the most damage. And this is just what we can see through the clouds, you guys. Unfortunately, the situation is like this over and over. And look at that. There's still homes smoking. There's still homes on fire. And then you've got other ones that are just totally reduced to rubble. So such a sad situation to see. This is what we talked about last night.
I guess a lot of planes are missing approaches in Ontario Airport right now.
Damage and devastation that is happening. And there's just such news helicopters are such a unique perspective that we have here in Southern California. I think it's certainly one thing to see it from our crews on the ground. It is certainly devastating to see it that way. But when you're able to see it as a more of a totality of circumstances from a helicopter, it just really paints a whole different picture of how bad things have gotten.
You know what? I got to say, he articulated that perfectly.
In the midst of all those that are standing fine, it is a perfect example of how the winds just pick up those embers and it lands just in that perfect spot, perhaps in the
some orange guy said something about that a couple years ago.
Keeps fueling it, and almost like fanning the flame.
I ran it earlier at the very beginning. You could probably watch some of that. I don't know if I brought any of that up.
And you can see, Mike, why people decide perhaps.
I don't want to say told you so stuff, but this is
because they're thinking, well, I'm in the middle of a.
I did not surprise this happened. And when I went off the air the other day or off the live stream, I mentioned some of this. This was going to be bad.
4 to 5 miles, and if it just hits that one home,
and I probably understated this.
One home can then set the homes on either side on fire.
This is
and then
just crazy.
Lose an entire neighborhood. And
look at all that fire. That's
totality of all
this.
Look at all that.
Many square miles of fire everywhere.
They don't even look real.
Never seen anything like this now.
This
look
is
at
a
that.
whole nother neighborhood that Oliver's looking at. Look at that. Just totally reduced. That's a school right there.
Oh my
in the center of the
God.
screen. Oliver, can you get me some streets here? Where are we looking at?
That looks like a school there.
Is that Palisades High School?
It might be, yeah. He's going to look for me right now.
Well, we know yesterday, Mike, the bleachers at Palisades.
Laughlin Lane is what he's telling me.
Okay.
So I'll look and figure out where that's at. But it's
So we're past the top of the hour
you
here.
see that, and there is nothing. I mean, the first neighborhood we were looking at, there were some homes that you could still see standing, and this one you just don't. You just don't see anything standing still, and there's still stuff on fire, but. And I know we're peering through the smoke
we just
there,
got a pretty good gust here, by the way. I felt the house shake.
And you know, when it comes to rebuilding, Mike,
I thought
there's
the
there's
wind
just
went
not
down.
going to be enough manpower to rebuild schools and homes and neighborhoods.
Yeah, if you take a look at this flight tracker for Ontario, you'll see a couple flights
to come back to where we were.
definitely missed their approaches. I just got a couple texts, by the way.
Welcome all of our viewers
This is when
who are watching our
my
continuing
father-in-law,
coverage of
because
the
he
wildfire
would always
disaster
text me, the
happening
planes are
across
going
Southern
around.
California.
Planes are going around. So that was KCAL, or I think that was KCAL, KCAL TV here in Los Angeles. There's a little independent, I guess, but now it's part of CBS affiliate. I just want to give them credit for stealing their stuff, but I'm not monetized or anything, so I don't really give a crap. I'm just worried about getting nailed here, but it looks like some politician yahoos are talking here. I can only imagine what they're grandstanding about, so I'm just going to not go to that. All Things Radio, what's going on? This is more than All Things Radio here. Just bringing in some local news feeds, and some people sent me some camera feeds of stuff here in Southern California. There's some local fire area. We were watching this earlier, I believe. The fire got awful close here. You could see that here. This tower actually almost went up a little more than a half hour ago. Luckily, it looks like there's a little bit of a fire break. They panned the camera away, probably hoping that it didn't get nailed there, but thankfully it did not. Let me take another look here, see if we can get another camera view. Oh. Wow. Wind really shifted. Take a listen here. I don't know if you guys can hear that way in the background there, but that's the wind hitting the side of the house there. I could feel it swaying. I'm in the second story of my house, by the way. I can feel it swaying. Wow. So let's take a look here and see if we can find something else. I'm also monitoring the Keller Peak repeater, which I didn't hear much of anything.
The Getty Museum.
Let's take a listen
see it on
here.
the map yet, so maybe they got it contained and out.
Yep.
Made quick work with the villa. Thank goodness. I mean, there's some
Copy that.
definitely some priceless works of art in there.
Well, my problem is I work for some of these folks, so I don't know how that would work out. So I just got to make sure I cover all my bases.
Go away to a fire. And
By the way, some of that shaking is not from me. It's from the house shaking. So keep that in mind. You guys see that on the...
those houses along PCH.
See it moving again there?
Rubble. It's gone. You know, just gone.
I can feel the...
Bob, the real Inn, which is a real REEL Inn, which has been there for years, is no more. It's gone.
I don't even know how many people are watching,
Santa
so
Monica Pier is okay, although I understand the evacuated portions of Santa Monica.
let's take a look.
Last night.
Well, let's take a listen to this. This is actually pretty good. I'm going to leave you guys here for this for a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's KM6AVH, if I didn't identify.
Hit the wrong
Bob,
button here.
you got to be, if you're still there, you got to be paying attention to the Olivas fire if you don't already know about it.
Yeah, we saw it this morning. I think they've got that contained or almost out, so we should be okay there. And plus, it's down at Olivas Parkway and going towards Harbor. But that was early this morning. Maybe I didn't need to take another look at it. We got Fire Watch, so it lets us know every little change in operation. It's a great app for sure, especially these days. We need to maybe talk about it a little bit more. But yeah, we're good. Watching the Olivas fire. Back to you, RJ, and then you can give it over to Mike.
Yeah, I just noticed that one on the CAL FIRE page. CAL FIRE now is registering, I believe it's zone 1, okay, is now registering 6 fires. What's the Lita fire? That's in Los Angeles. I don't know.
What, the FU guy? Oops.
Oh, maybe that's the one Mike was talking about that's up by the 14th.
That's in Acton.
Oh, they were talking about you there. Not you in particular, but your area.
Yeah, they're calling it the Lydia fire. Okay.
I don't have my my cover on it, so I can get to it quickly. So if I put my cover on it, it'll probably look a little bit better. I'll put it on right now.
It is listed as Acton, correct.
Is that a little better for you? I know it's not perfect. Come on, camera, focus.
By the way, confirming the real end.
So the house is swaying here a little bit, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
36 years is gone.
Probably
gone,
not.
Leveled. Teddy and Andy Leonard are the owners of that, and yeah.
I do not know.
Devastating.
I'm not near any fire, so I don't have any of that stuff. I don't want to take any resources away from it.
Don't know about Gladstone's though. That's on the other side.
And Rick, no, I am nowhere near any of these fires, but I am in the wind-prone area, and it is very windy. It died down for a little while, but it's really picked up here the last few minutes here. We're listening to the Papa system here in Southern California.
See what's going on there. I'll be here from Camp 6ABH.
I'm not hearing any emergency traffic whatsoever. And it sounds like they're pretty much done talking. So let me see if we can find some more coverage here on the live stream. For you folks, I'm not a newscaster, so I'm not trying to be one, but I'm just letting you guys know what I'm seeing here for myself here. Looks like they're talking about what we were talking about earlier here.
Lake Avenue, Mariposa. He's standing right over here looking in this direction.
This is where I was saying
These are the businesses that Tim is talking about.
It went down the hill there in Altadena area and took out some of the local area there. That was a strip mall I was talking about, and they were mentioning earlier.
Of Altadena, and you could see this enormous, densely populated community. This is what we're talking about right now that is in the line of the fire.
Yeah, I've never seen it go down from the hill into the neighborhoods that deep before.
Like a hardware store, and there's a coffee store and a restaurant there.
Yeah, we're
coffee
walking
store.
you down because
Hey, I used to have one of those Volts.
So Mariposa's cut into 2 pieces.
That might be my old Volt.
The area well, so it's not exactly straight across here on Lake. So I'm taking you down to this half. And this is the thing. You have businesses like this one on the corner. Everything's inside. Looks like a normal Wednesday afternoon. And then you just go down the sidewalk a little bit. That's the hardware store there. That burned early this morning. And then across the street, essentially everything gone. A convenience store that was on the corner here. Looks like maybe a house or something that was next to it is gone. And then across the street as well, many of those businesses currently on fire as we speak. But some of these across the street haven't been touched at this point. But obviously there are fires, even this little stretch here. There's a big fire at the martial arts that
me
we were
being an asshole
earlier.
in here telling
There's a big fire just on this corner here as well. And this is kind of sandwiched in between. And sadly, with this fire burning, you hope it doesn't spread, but it's so close and it's so hot out here, you can't imagine it couldn't.
Yeah. This is that one
guy's throwing out gang signs right there.
Tim just walked us through, and you could see all the larger buildings that he's talking about. These businesses, many of them that have been lost.
Also on Lake, there's a couple really large churches that are just beautiful. If you go further down, toward the 210, so hopefully those are going to be safe too. It's just look
at that.
We see this theme over and over again: the hopscotching of these fires, where one thing is perfect.
All right, these guys are having.
Valencia, I can QSY to 5-2 if you want.
mainly here to listen to radio traffic. But
W6KCO clear.
I want to keep you guys active. Looks like 60 people are watching. Wow. Jump in the chat. If you are new, tell us how you found us. I am not a news agency by any means. I'm not trying to be one, but I figure I'll let you folks see what we're dealing with here in Southern California. I know a lot of you folks are from not even in this country, in this continent. So nice to see. Like I just said, we got someone in from the UK in there. Thank you very much for watching. We're monitoring some ham radio frequencies here. I am not planning on talking on any of them. I am not planning on doing any relaying info because I don't think it's my place. I am not trained to do that. But I figure if there's some sort of emergency, we'll take a listen. I don't anticipate anything. But it's good to listen to see what's going on. I'm also monitoring some fire stuff on the local news here in Southern California. If I can pull that up, I think Mr. Collins just sent this to me.
Extremely ideal property. Now you can see there is absolutely nothing left. Utter devastation everywhere.
Sounds like there's some audio difficulties with that feed there. I don't know why I was hearing two of them. I don't know if that was on my end. What's up, W1ZLA? I appreciate you jumping in there. Just to let you know, I'm not speaking. I am not speaking for Josh, but I know both of us live. I know pretty much where Josh lives. He is away from the fires, as far as I understand, and I am well away from anything close to any fires. So, but I am in the middle of the wind. I can tell you that much. It's hitting the side of the house. It just startled me here a minute ago. So, definitely, everybody here in Southern California is experiencing high winds here. Let me take a look here. We're going into KCAL here in Los Angeles.
Here in Malibu since the 1960s.
This is PCH here.
This is what you're looking at here.
Otherwise known as Pacific Coast Highway.
And of course, this isn't the only business loss.
Yes, they do, by the way, Michael.
Fire here in
I was listening to
Malibu.
them on a scanner, but they shift a lot of the frequencies and I can't hear them. Plus, I don't have the radio dialed into my mixer here, unfortunately.
It's Malibu's Real Inn is gone, as well
we're
as
all
Cholada.
Don, you know, we're all good here. If something happened in Cerritos or in Chino, like in the main area, that's going to be really serious stuff.
These power lines and these poles that have come down in the middle of the street. I'm driving in the middle.
Yeah, that's Ron. And you know what? To your point, I appreciate you jumping in and saying that. I just mentioned that myself about 30 minutes ago. That's when the real stuff starts to happen because all those embers start to shift too. And it can start burning in different areas.
Like here. There's still quite a bit of activity, as you can see every so often. CAL FIRE, LA County Fire, and all of the other agencies that have rushed to our area to help us here. They're making the trek back and forth along PCH. But this is just one stretch of this iconic, beautiful highway in this amazing city. And it's just piles of debris and smoky ash. We've seen this time and again.
And keep in mind, these houses are probably $10 million each, right on the ocean here, the Pacific Ocean.
So we could get some idea about the number of homes that might have been
146.73.
You know, this is.
Let me see if I can pull that up here. 146.73. I don't think I can hear that hilltop there. 146.73. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that peak is pretty far away from my location there, and I think I got a hill actually blocking that.
I got a job to do.
There's Catalina. Sam, I'll try to pin that in there when I can. I'll just scroll through here, see if I hear anything. A lot of noise here on the band. Static electricity in the air.
Not quite right. WH6 EWF monitoring.
Let's go back.
I live in Yucaipa, the city of Yucaipa, which is in between.
They're well away from any fires there, so I'm not gonna. No, last fire, I think Keller Peak, part of it went up, as far as I can remember here. So let's take a look back here at
Homes literally on the water.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just throwing all these feeds together, so just bear with me if this isn't smooth. I like to be nice and smooth, so
off the beach, the only things that are left there.
I'm sure a lot of people thought that their homes were safe because they were on the water, and it's just so tough to see. You know, we've been talking about neighbors, helping neighbors, and our Jasmine Beal, she has been doing such an amazing job out there, really getting those stories. And earlier today, she and her photographer, John Schreiber, helped rescue chickens from behind a burning home on Altadena Drive in Pasadena. They captured the birds by hand and then stored them in a trash bin. Take a look when they gave them to that owner.
Yeah.
We got to rescue some chickens because it's going to catch fire.
They're rescuing some cocks
Do you
here.
guys have a cage?
All right, we don't need to watch any of that stuff, but I think I might have chicken for dinner tonight. God, is that bad? I apologize. And that's probably not appropriate, but yeah. But once again, anybody new, jump in the chat. Tell us how you found us. I'm just kind of monitoring local ham frequencies and local TV broadcast here that are on YouTube. Well, I'm not lying. Some of these I cannot. These feeds I can't take here. Let's take a look at this here. This is actually
K6EGG AB6MB.
Let's see if I can bring
There's
this
a
feed.
temporary flight restriction that is keeping us somewhat at bay from giving you the really close-up shots, but from a distance to see those large buildings on fire.
Colin
These
had
are large
KFC last night,
houses
so
all up
it
and
wasn't
down
totally
these
inappropriate.
neighborhoods here in the summit section of Pacific Palisades.
Chris, I think those numbers are actually very beneficial for our viewers because you can, everybody wants to see what's going on and perhaps check on their home. So it's actually a really good feature to have.
On the air, so many people have said that they've confirmed whether or not their home is in existence because of our coverage and them able to kind of locate what we're showing. So yeah, the addresses, even though it could be heartbreaking for some people to actually see their homes on fire, at least it gives them some idea of what is happening in real time.
And sometimes, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're both right. On so many occasions, we don't typically, put
So
those
13% humidity,
but in a case like this,
14 mile an hour sustained winds there. I don't know what it's gusting to. It doesn't say what it's gusting to.
destiny of your property. But
I don't know if it's an average or not, but it's definitely more than 14 miles an hour right now.
Because you can see right here, now we're along the 1800 block. That is a very large home at 1806 Palisades Drive. That is a new fire start that has quickly gone up just in the last few minutes that we've been here, and it is continuing to hopscotch through this section of the Pacific Palisades. Also, I should mention, as we continue to look at these pictures, just minutes ago, we were a little further north of here.
What's up, Rob, in Toronto, Canada?
Another couple of structures along the 1900 block of Palisades Drive. That's 1946, it appears, that is going to burn to the ground there. We were just a little further north and west of here in Malibu, specifically over Topanga Canyon. The main strip along Topanga Canyon is seeing a lot of active fire right now. The wind is blowing the fire away from Topanga Canyon Road. However, there's so much ripe brush between the fire and the road that it seems to be a struggle between the winds and the actual terrain, because the fire, even though the wind is blowing towards the ocean, that offshore flow, the Santa Ana
It's going to be our
winds are
51st state.
obviously offshore, some of the fire is spreading in the opposite direction because there is so much
I'm joking,
heavy
of course.
fuel
That's never
to
going to
burn.
happen.
And there are new neighborhoods that are now under threat in the Topanga Canyon region. Coming back out here to Pacific Palisades Drive, or Pacific Palisades, This is going to be the intersection of, this is that same home at 1946.
Okay.
That's at the end of Boss Court.
You're over here. I'm over by Typa, nearby Banning and Beaumont.
These guys are talking about their power getting taken out, but I think most of that's precautionary. Maybe some of it's because of down power lines.
Well, stay safe out there. And yeah, now they've got a lot of power turned off all over the place. I guess try to keep anything else from sparking up. Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, climate change. This happens all the time.
Yeah, I've been hearing about it. I actually had it on TV here for a little while. Hey, Drew, can you get on?
I mean, not like this, but we do get wind quite often, and it's been dry.
I believe I can. I'll meet you over there on Papa Chat on DMR, K4DDU.
I was looking at the wrong chat here.
TV6MB.
Hello, Nottingham. I found you by listening to Broadcastify. Was listening to 435 news over the weekend. Someone was stealing your call. Ignoring. I was definitely on YouTube, so someone must have been using my call there on 435. Unfortunately, that's not surprising.
They got trashed by huge waves some years.
Maybe you could become a ham, though.
I remember some story about that.
Why are you starting fires?
Definitely not starting fires. Sam, KM4EO, welcome to the live stream, sir. This has been a different kind of a live stream.
Yeah.
And apparently somebody in 435 here in the Southern California area has been bootlegging my call sign, so that's lovely. You guys know, basically, if I'm on the radio, I'm on the stream, so. We heard remember we heard K8 MRD one night, too, even though I know he wasn't on at midnight on Christmas Eve.
In danger.
It's been a wild couple days here or there, my friend.
Yeah, and I'm sure some of those.
This was everything I thought it was going to be and more. If you recall me being on mentioning the wind was going to be really, really bad.
There's a lot of them that are going to throw in the towel and say, I'm done with this. But you never
Tell you what, if my insurance goes up anymore, I might be in some serious stuff.
Houses have burned there many times.
208 mile an hour wind? Really? I think some of the peaks got over 100. I'm guessing we might have got in the 80s here.
I'm going to rant for just a second because for the most part, the media has done a pretty good job of reporting all this. But I heard a reporter this morning on, I think it was on NBC4 out there, and he says, basically, he came off with the comment of, I don't know how they'll ever recover from this. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, what a way to encourage and think positive.
Exactly.
During a disaster.
We'll get over this.
Unbelievable. Go ahead, Bob.
We'll definitely get over this. We get over anything. We're the freaking United States of America.
Yeah, thanks. I just now found out about moon shadows.
Yeah, actually, you made a good point there. We're the People's Republic of California.
I don't know. Just give some tribute to Carolyn's
You don't
brother.
claim
Actually
you.
designed the original moon shadows sign. Did a sketch for it because he used to spend so much time there surfing, and anyway, he was a graphic artist back in the day, and so just wanted to throw that in there, give it some tribute to him. He's passed, unfortunately, but yeah, he originally drew the original moon shadows sign, and anyway, so I just wanted to throw that in there. Go ahead, RJW6EGG.
That's kind of depressing, you know. Here's the thing. That's where you try the reporters trying to be part of the story and trying to create more emotion than needed to be and giving their opinion. The fact of the matter is, we're going to rebuild. That's a nice area. The weather is going to be good eventually. This is how people since the dark ages have gone through stuff. So no, come on. That's just stupid.
Saying insurance companies are making billions and billions and
They are.
trillions and gazillions of dollars. Well, if there's no incidents, they are. When it comes to replacing a $5 million home, depending upon how much they insured the property for. I just increased the property value of my house last year more more for contents, but also because the value of the house has gone up. So
like that in red, but we just heard from the
Let's take
city
a
of Santa
listen to
Monica
the
that
news
they
here.
have added this chunk to a mandatory evacuation. You can see why here, because the updated mapping from CAL FIRE shows the fire's path continuing to push to and the west, and you can see that reflected here. All of these orange spots are some of the areas where they have had confirmed fire. So, and in the studio here, once again, we have lost power. We've taken several power hits, as have many of the people that are listening to us, and I can actually just...
That's unprecedented for you guys that are in Southern California to have that fire go that far down the hill.
Here in the studio,
don't see that very often here in Southern California.
LADWP has
That's a lot of densely populated area to be burning through.
It's going to take 24 to 48 hours to get power back on for some folks.
Sounds like this company still has, or this,
since we're talking about it, since
they have some audio issues. I'm going to see if I have anything else open here, which I don't think I do.
And it is just incredibly lit up, something that I don't really think I've seen in quite a while here, with all of these circles. Every circle on this map is where there is an outage. And I want to just come up here and we'll look at one of the larger areas here. Excuse me, 2,800 people in Highland Park, 2,500 people in Sawtell, 2,300 customers in Tahunga and Venice, 22 in Glassell Park. So a lot going on as we deal with these fires. We deal with the high winds.
No, don't say that. We'll be in a different country there, Tim.
Just took a hit here in the studio, and I know a lot of our viewers, they've been reaching out, telling us that they've had brownouts at home or they've had a
Hello,
dip
you want to
in
be live on
power.
the air?
So definitely, even...
Hello? Hi, Greg. Yeah, do you want to be live on the air? We're live on the air right now on YouTube. Look up Greg K6EGG. We're live right now. And I'm not kidding. There's 65 people watching right now.
Oh, 65, huh?
Yeah. What do you want to say? What do you have to say? Anything? You called me, remember?
I did call you. Hey, are you the homeowner on Lent?
Well, maybe. What are you going to give me?
Well, some financial assistance, bro, for your house.
I am good with financial assistance, and I would appreciate it if I don't get these phone calls anymore.
Yeah, no
to be 100%.
What's the YouTube name again?
What's that?
What's the YouTube name again?
Greg K6EGG. That's 2 G's.
Right on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you're on there. We only have 24 likes right now, unfortunately, but check it out.
Yeah, I will. My name's Jay, by the way.
All right, Jade.
Have a great day.
Jump in the chat and say hi. All right. All right. Have a good day. Well, we'll see how that works out.
PCH right here. It just, home after home.
Jay, if you're
business after
watching,
business just leveled by the fire.
That was a
And,
telemarketer call.
It didn't matter if you lived in a big house or a small house. They were all going up equally. And it is just so heartbreaking to see these homes go up in flames and then so many businesses going
What's
up
up, Simon? Nice to see you in there. This is not a normal live stream. I didn't really think it was appropriate with all this stuff going on. We are monitoring some local
I don't know.
frequencies here. It's mainly rag chewing going on.
We also have SkyCal that has been up again today. Yesterday,
Look at that. That's like pretty big, expensive stuff going
The
on.
president was in town, and then we had the strong winds, and it made
We're waiting for Jay from the telephone call to jump in here. Hopefully she'll jump in the chat and say hello.
But we are definitely getting a ground
Telemarketer there. Hey, at least you're nice. Some of the folks I talk to aren't nice, so that's why I wasn't rude to you.
As I can. A lot of people watching.
Sometimes I'm kind of rude, but I have a right to. It's my phone.
And a lot of people, unfortunately, have seen their homes.
Best way to put off sales calls.
Whether it's been
hey, you know what? She was nice. I give her.
It just is really.
I give her credit because sometimes I'll be like, I don't want to do that.
As you mentioned, SkyCal is live.
We'll wait and see if she pops in here,
live picture there.
or he, whatever. She. It sounds like a she. I had headphones on and listening to the scanner at the same time. I was listening to.
We're right now headed to the Eaton.
In case you guys are wondering why I keep on fumbling over my words, I'm also listening very low, the Papa system.
Over the last couple of days, due to those
I
strong
can,
heavy winds, not only have firefighters,
but I don't set up for it at the moment.
Sending up air support, but news choppers as well, like SkyCal, have been grounded due to the dangerous conditions.
It was more due to the TFR because of President Biden.
Yeah, we see that little peak of sunshine in there, but otherwise it looks like a dark sky. Mike Rogers.
What's that? I'm sorry.
That's what I love about my board. My phone's Bluetooth in.
my homeowner's insurance.
I guess I can
twice.
Bluetooth it in. I don't know.
'Cause
I would have to
it's
run it through my
value
computer actually.
what it would
The way I
cost
have it
for
set
me
up
to
right now.
replace stuff, clothing,
But it's possible.
appliances, and all the basics. So, K6EGG.
Pasadena
That guy's still
Recreation
talking?
Center, and then
It's
tonight,
been on all day.
Mayor Bass will hear from her for the first time at a press conference tonight at 5 o'clock.
As we continue our coverage here, Alex Michelson, Marla Tejas, thank you so much for being with us as we
get cold calls all the time.
battling multiple fires at the same
I get about 10 of them a day. And that's actually probably the nicest lady I talked to, or nicest person I talked to in recent times. So, so I hope she jumps in the chat. Go ahead. Sorry, Sam.
Very nice.
Yes.
tonight for Mayor Bass.
This is Alex Wilson. Alex, I forget his name here. Alex something or other. He's really good.
Done so that we would be
He's
better
Gavin Newsom's buddy.
not be so overwhelmed.
He's always doing
by the
interviews with
flames
him.
yesterday.
Because our team of meteorologists had they've been forecasting.
I don't beat a dead horse on that
I would
one.
imagine a pier of anywhere would just go up like
It doesn't sound like our friend is going to be joining us in YouTube chat today. That's bumming. I would love to have her on.
wow, that's just really amazing. I don't know. I really don't know. Being a firefighter for 4 years, I don't wish I was one now. I think these guys running around and they've got to be just.
Like I said, man, Michael, I get sales calls at least 10 a day. I got 3 of them when I was working out for just an hour this morning.
I can't believe their hair didn't catch on fire. There was all these embers just blowing around in the wind, and just like you should have a helmet or something on.
I lost that pin message that you were nice enough to put in there, by the way, Sam. I apologize. I was trying to keep stuff going on the other side. Only 23 likes. I know this isn't like a normal stream, but I don't know if I'll come on later tonight just because of this. What do you got there for me there, Mr. Colin? All the way down from VK Land. What do I need this for? I don't need another scanner. Come on.
All we can do is pray that we're good and that we're saved. But anyway, I don't. It's just
38 likes.
All right, I'll let you guys go. I got to go check the pasta water. We're having some spaghetti tonight with some nice sausages. So
You're having some sausage.
And I'll listen out to you guys and have a great.
I don't have that thoughts and prayer button set up yet. We'll see if we can figure out how we can get that set up. But maybe in a future live stream we'll have that set up.
Bob, 7-3 talked a little bit.
We'll make a pin message for that.
LAeater.com, LA.eater.com.
60 bots watching. Hello, all you 60 bots.
Restaurant's closed. And Nobu is closed.
In case you guys are wondering, there is a nice pin message there for our Discord. That's up 24/7. I try to be active in it. I got a lot of messages and emails over the last 24 hours. Like I said, I am not anywhere near any of this fire stuff. I mean, I'm in Southern California, but we are in a wide area here in Southern California. I'm not in any fire danger whatsoever, and I will not be at this point. Ron, I know you're not a bot. It still doesn't make you a bad person. I can't do HF because I have to have my antenna down. I'm lucky I put it down on Monday night, by the way. And my allergies are still bugging me. Oh, that's gross. I got the wind picking up right now again. I probably should have set up another microphone so you guys can hear the wind, but why? I can just tell you that I can film. I haven't felt my house sway in about a half hour. A lot of people listening here on the Papa System. Like I said, I'm not planning on talking. That tastes like Palisades Avenue right there. That's probably not good.
fires. What was that? Anything as of right now, but they had to close obviously for the fires.
This was a little bit earlier.
I think so. Okay, K6EGG.
Still very active here in Southern California. I would say we still haven't reached the peak of how bad these fires are get. The shock of them are gone, but the peak of this fire is not gone. Of these fires are not gone. We're monitoring the PAPA system here in the Southern California area. This stretches pretty much the border of Mexico up to Central California. It looks pretty clear there. The wind's starting to shift there a bit. This one is the one the fire almost happened at, I think. So if we go back 30 minutes, no, we move the camera. So you can see the fire down here. That's pretty wild. Somebody's effing around with the PAPA system there. We never got to see our telemarketer in here. That's unfortunate. That would have been great if she would have joined us in the chat. We can ask her all kinds of questions. Oh, well. At least there she was nice. I don't want to be recorded. Well, I don't want to be called. You're the one that called.
And recorded.
What?
And recorded.
Yeah. I'm sure they're recording on their side for quality assurance. So it looks like, I mean, I don't want to be beating a dead bush, but yeah, it's still bad. I don't, like I thought earlier, I was texting you guys in the Sad Hams chat, which it's only me and Sam and Seth in. Not much activity on the ham bands, at least on the local repeaters here in Southern California for obvious reasons. Most of them are keeping them pretty clear. But still bad situation here in Southern California. It isn't going to get any better before it gets worse. I'm just really concerned about when the winds shift a little bit here in the next 24 hours. But we'll see what happens with that. But I think I'm going to get out of here. I don't know if I'll be on later tonight. I don't know if I feel appropriate. Just kind of rag chewing on stuff with all this stuff happening around me. It doesn't feel right to me. I was planning on doing a POTA today. No, it's a text group. Just the three of us admins there. I was planning on doing a POTA at the Butterfield Trail, whatever it's called, but I just didn't feel, that ain't cool. Ham radio could wait a little bit. But you have anything to add there, Sam? Hey, if you need somebody on there, maybe I could pop in there or something. Just, I don't know. Do you have my number? I don't know how that would you get a hold of me there, but I don't mind being on. I don't think I'll be on tonight. It's Wednesday. What is it? Wednesday tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Windridge active. I think Christina, I think I'm blocked by that hill too, because you're on the other side of the mountain there. That's too far north. Sounds like something falling outside. We'll see here. All right. I think I'm going to get out of here. And like I said, Sam, I apologize for interrupting you. Do you have anything to jump in there? All right.
No, just join us on Discord and catch y'all next time.
All right. And Tim, if I'm not doing anything, As of now, I'm not. I might be making some dinner at that. So what time is it right now? 3:40, hour and a half. We'll see. I don't know what I'll talk about, but anyways, you guys take care and be safe. For anybody here watching in Southern California, and try to have a good evening.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for watching the great K6EGG live stream. But most importantly, thanks for spending a little while with me. And please, don't forget to tell your friends about the channel.